I'm not an astronomer, but I figured out in Interstellar Transport Company, Mars is a lot farther away from the Earth than Earth's own moon is, and here's what happened. Good morning, everyone. Dave from the wee hours here. Today, taking a look at Interstellar Transport Company. We're going to buy things, we're going to sell things, we're going to move them between planets, hence the interstellar part of the title. I looked at this on early access. I watched some early access gameplay of this ages ago, probably about a year or so ago, and said, well, that's definitely a kind of game that I'm into. I love a good economics game. I'm not good at them, but I enjoy playing them. Love a good buy and sell, a little trading, definitely right up my alley. I'll have to keep my eye on this. And then a few days ago, the developer popped up in my email and sent me a key to it, which was very much appreciated. It is going into full release, into 1.0, basically as you're watching this. There was an embargo for 1.0, so of course I'm honoring that. So as you're seeing this right now, this is going into full release. So his key was very much appreciated from the developers. Thank you very much for that. And I have left a link to their Steam page down below if you want to check out Interstellar Transport Company for yourself. That is where you can do that. So ever see one of those games that says something along the lines of easy to play, hard to master? Yeah, welcome to Interstellar Transport Company. I've been messing around with this for a few days. I've put maybe 2 or 3 hours into it, and I failed miserably each and every time. It's a great tutorial, very, very explanatory tutorial, gives you the game mechanics, gives you some broad concepts, and then I fired it up on easy mode, I might add, and failed miserably 5 times in a row, because there's a lot to keep track of. There is a lot going on in this game. There's a lot of UI, there's a lot of micromanagement, and if you're like me, and I know I am, I've been like me for years, that's not my strength. That's not playing to my strengths there. But I'm really digging it. It's a lot of fun to play, even if I'm not very good at it. So what I thought we'd do with Interstellar Transport Companies, I'm just going to try and show off the absolute fundamental basics. You know, baby's first truckin' company is basically what we're going with here. And then see what you guys want to do with it from there, if we want to see more of it on the channel or not. But let's just take a look at some Interstellar Transport Company. I'm going to very daringly put it on normal mode, which I haven't done before. So, you know, this is going to go down in a pile of fire. So, normal mode, I will have $250,000 starting cash. I will have a loan that I'm going to start with that I'll have to pay back. Everything else kind of normal. The AI is going to have a little bit more money than me, and they're going to have no starting loan. They're going to get a little bit of a boost, but it is going to cost them more money to subsidize a new colony. We're not even going to get into that in this look at Interstellar Transport Company, but it is good to know that it will cost me a little bit less if I want to do that down the road. Let's fire up some Interstellar Transport Company. Let's see what we can do with this. And I think we will call our company Dave's Space Truckin'. Give it sort of a 1970s CB radio feel to it. You can just go ahead and start humming Convoy while you're doing this. Don't actually, play it or anything. There's copyright issues, things like that. But just hum the song Convoy while we're playing this. Dave's Space Truckin'. Here we go. Let's dive into space. Well, welcome to space. We're out in space. It's pretty clear that we're out in space here. Let's zoom in. Let's actually get a little bit closer to where we live, like, Earth. What else is kicking around here, though? Zarlot. Ooh, it's a yellow dwarf. Nobody lives there yet, but boy, does it have a lot of planets and moons. Holy moly. Can we just go there? That sounds really cool. Terabellum, a red dwarf, not as many planets. Let's focus on fundamentals here. Let's not get distracted, Dave. Let's go to Earth. Let's go where we live, in Earth. Dave's Space Truckin' on Earth. Here we are. There's our spaceport. Fundamentals. First day things. I need a parking spot. I can't do anything until I have somewhere to launch my ships from. So we need one of these gates. All these little boxes are gates here. And our competition is going to buy those too. Well, lease them actually. So this is going to cost me a little over 30 grand for the initial cost to lease it. And then it's going to cost me about $1,500 a month to keep it going. So gate number 16, you belong to me now because I can't do anything else until you do. Lease the gate. Great. While we're here, what else is going on on Earth. We've got some infrastructure. There's things on Earth. Quite a lot of them, actually, in 2050, apparently. We've got security stations, medical factories, consumer goods factories. All these things are obviously going to produce things that we could theoretically sell. Large maintenance shed, a medium office. That's going to give me plus 0.8% planetary company reputation, but does not stack with other offices. Okay, because one of the things I could actually build in this empty slot would be a local office. But if I've already got a medium office here and this doesn't stack, there's no reason for me to build that. That's an expense I could save right there. So let's not do that. And then there's going to be a lot of other things that we could put in this slot that we haven't researched. Oh yeah, P.S. We've got a whole tech tree to deal with. We'll get to that in a bit. So none of these can I actually do. A dilithium fuel refinery. Yeah, that's way out of reach right now. We won't deal with infrastructure right at this moment. But while we're talking about the tech tree, we're not generating any research points right up here to get to the research tree right over here. There's a lot of UI here. A lot. So we should probably construct a research station. Now that ain't cheap. That's going to cost me 80 grand of my slightly less than 270,000 that I have here. It's going to cost me 900 a week, but it is going to generate 4 research points a day, which we kind of need. Otherwise, we're going to get left behind by our competition. In fact, the bulk of the game, that my experience so far, is getting left behind by your competition. So construct the research station. Okay, we got that ticking along. Everything's on pause, but when we unpause it, we'll be generating 4 research points a day. Super. What else is going on Earth? Well, a lot of people for a start. There's over 9 billion people on Earth in 2050. What else is kicking around here? Let's look at some fundamentals like supply and demand. Well, Earth does not want food, water, or consumer goods. Cannot even. No way. Don't bother sending it here. We've got plenty. However, it does have it has a demand for luxuries. And those aren't inexpensive. That's 3,810 and some change for every unit of luxuries that we bring to Earth. We'll have to keep that in the back of our heads. In fact, my experience is the bulk of this game is keeping things in the back of my head. I should really get a pen and paper going for this. A little bit of demand for business. No demand for tourists. Actually, they don't want tourists. With over 9 billion people, I'm not surprised. And a teensy tiny demand for rare resources. Okay. All right, fair enough. And we've got our gate here. We've got that locked in. So what is the next step? What's the next closest place? The moon, Luna. Let's check out what's happening here. And we may as well just go ahead and grab a gate because we're going to need one anyway. This is quite a bit cheaper though. That's only about 5 grand for the initial cost and only about 250 monthly to maintain it. So we'll grab a gate. We're going to need it anyway. There's our flag on the moon, and our competitors obviously don't have anything else going on here because we're paused. Now, what does the moon want? The moon wants food and water. Not a huge demand, but a demand. A little bit of demand for machinery. Okay. Tiny demand for warm bodies. It could do with some colonists. 0 demand for rare resources. Don't send your rare resources here. Looks like you're making them yourselves. You have rare resources availability of 52%, and you have 4 mines. 2 for raw materials, 2 for rare resources. Now here, we don't have an office. We don't have that medium office like we have on Earth. It wouldn't be a bad idea. Money I don't really want to spend, but we should probably build a local office here. That's going to generate a tiny bit of company rep every single week, but company rep nonetheless. And the overall goal is to dominate the marketplace. We want to be the only transport company servicing these planets. So I'm going to go ahead and build that. Yeah, I can always demolish it later if for some reason I find I can't afford it, but yeah, and we won't upgrade it right now. We'll keep it as is. What does upgrading do? Doubles the reputation gain. Okay, we don't need to do that right at this moment. Okay, so we know the moon needs food and water primarily. Little tiny bit of machinery, but let's concentrate on the food and water. Again, baby's first trucking company. The Earth needs luxuries and maybe rare resources. Now, the moon has rare resources. Moon is producing rare resources. My immediate thought that I'm seeing is a route that would take food and water from Earth to the moon, and then rare resources back to Earth. Rinse and repeat. Let me see how we're going to put all of that nonsense together. So if we go create a new route, we have no routes right now. We're not moving anything anywhere. Let's start a new route. Fantastic. Let's add a stop. Again, this is baby's first trucking company. We're just going to do this step by step here. Otherwise, I absolutely will mess it up. So from the Earth, which is Earth, Sol system, got all that. We want to take food and water to the moon. Okay, start by picking up none. Let's just set that right there. A lot of these other options are not even going to come in with what we're watching today. So pick up next hop demand. It will attempt to pick up just enough to the cargo to satisfy the demand of the next planet on its route. So if we had a route that had multiple planets in its line, this is going to come up a lot more. So it's just going to try and take one thing to the next place. When it gets to the next place, it'll take a thing to the next place, etc., etc., etc. Right now, we just want the cargo bay to be full. We just need day one stuff of make sure you're not going anywhere empty-handed. So I want you to wait for a full load with food and with water. Boom. And these are all categorized into different categories that we'll kind of keep an eye on as we're setting up the actual ship that's going to do this. Super. Now, when you get there, deliver it all. Dump everything when you get there. Okay, step one done. Let's add a stop of the moon. When you get to the moon, I want you to pick up just rare resources. And this is dry climate controlled cargo bays. I just need to remember what the actual icon is for rare resources. I'm pretty sure it's the yellow one, but let me confirm that. Yeah, rare resources, the little yellow circly icon. Got it. Okay, so back to our roots. On the moon, I want you to basically just pick up rare resources and bring them back. Now, do I want to wait for a full load, or do I want you to just take off when you've got what you've got? Ships will load what is currently waiting and then depart. I'm going to set it to this because I don't think the moon is producing that much rare resources. What I don't want, that I've run into before, again, just messing around with this in my own time, and I see, I built a small office on Luna. Sorry, I thought that was my competition. No, it's clearly Dave's Space Truckin'. What I've run into in my own little messing around with this is ships will get stalled waiting for a full load because there's not enough stuff there. And they're just sitting in the hangar, waiting for nothing to happen because they're not producing stuff quickly enough. Long story short, I'm going to put this on don't wait. Just pick up whatever is there and then go back to Earth. So, one more time. From Earth, we're going to take food and water. You're going to wait for a full load. I'm sure Earth has got plenty of food and water. On the moon, you're going to pick up some rare resources, bring it back to Earth. Super. Now we just need a ship to do this all in. So let's add a ship. We're going to purchase a ship for this route. We've only got two options because this is all we've got right now that we've researched. Obviously, down the road, I'm sure we'll be able to research a lot more different ships. The Doing 909 and the Sparrow rocket. Sparrow rocket, fire and forget. One-time use, one-shot rocket. Just load it up with its very, very small cargo bay and fire it off. Fair enough. The Doing 909, now that's a real ship. That's a cargo ship. That's something we can reuse. So it's going to go where it needs to go, maybe pause for a bit of maintenance, and then go back and keep doing that over and over again. And quite a bit bigger cargo bay than the Sparrow rocket. So we've got 20 slots. And we have to organize them because not everything can go in every type of cargo bay. So we're bringing food and water here. We know that. Now this one, the dry climate controlled cargo bay, will take food, rare resources, which is great because we're going to need that when we get to the moon, and refugees. It'll actually hold humans. Well, so will this one actually. No, raw materials, dilithium, and stellarium. I don't even know what two of those things are. So we can basically fill up a lot on the dry cargo bay, the dry climate controlled cargo bay, because that will also be handy when we come back from the moon. So let's get, I'm going to say 3/4 of our cargo bay should be that, and then we'll just flesh out the rest with water. So it's going to be mostly food and a little bit of water going out, hopefully a bunch of rare resources coming back. If not, then we can fidget with that later. In fact, having said that, now that I've just said that out loud, take off 5 of the dry ones and just put in 2 and then the rest in water. Just to make sure we've got plenty of water going to the moon. Okay, the Earth-Luna supply, they're going to deliver this ship to Earth. It's going to start there. We've got our 2 docking spaces, our 2 parking spots on each side of the route. I believe we are ready to order our ship. But nothing's going to happen immediately because it's going to take 25 days for that ship to actually be in our docking bay. It's on order. Somebody's manufacturing right now. It's going to take almost a month for that to happen. So we're just basically going to be in pause. Well, not really in pause. We will actually get the game going, so time ticks by. But we're going to be stalled out until this ship arrives there. Okay, you know what? That is fine. Because the other colonized planet that we can kind of mess around with is Mars. Now, Mars is very underdeveloped right now. There's really nothing here. There's actually literally nothing here in terms of infrastructure. I could put down an office, but I can't go nuts with the money. We've spent over half of our money at this point. How much to get a gate here? Very little. Actually, very little. 3,500-ish to get the gate, and then 175-ish monthly cost. That's very cheap. Well, definitely take it. Definitely take that. And I am halfway dominating this market. In fact, what happens? I don't actually know the answer to this. What happens if I just get the other gate? I don't need it. That's the thing. I don't need this gate. I only need 1 right now for my plan. But I just want to see what happens if I do that. I'm sure they're just going to build other gates and then my competition will come in there. But right now, as far as I can see, they can't get any ships here. Because I have both of the gates. I'm just messing around with this. This is all a big experiment. What does Mars need? Food and water and machinery. Okay, and some warm bodies. They wouldn't mind some colonists, but their biggest demand is for machinery, very closely followed by food and water. Okay, cool. Let's go back to Earth right here. Now, here is the biggest mistake I made in Interstellar Transport Company when I was first playing this. I did basically that same first opening move. Set up a little route between the Earth and the Moon, back and forth. Nice, great. Then I looked at Mars like I just did and said, food and water, machinery, great. And what are we producing on Mars? Not a lot, but, I'm like, okay, great, let's do a Mars route. I'm going to set up a ship going from Earth to Mars, and that'll be a nice little profitability thing. We'll just go back and forth between Earth and Mars, just like we're doing between Earth and the Moon. Here's the thing. Those ships, the Doing 909, move at a snail's pace. So Earth to the Moon, no big deal. The Moon's kind of right next door. Mars is a really long way away. Now, I'm not an astronomer, but I figured out in Interstellar Transport Company, Mars is a lot farther away from the Earth than Earth's own moon is. And here's what happened. My ship just sort of dawdled along very, very slowly on its way to Mars. It was taking what was effectively game months for my ship full of food and water to get over there. In the meantime, my competition slammed a bunch of those Sparrow rockets over there, which move like lightning, and they were lapping me. They were getting 3, 4, 5 rockets over to Mars before my ship even showed up. So, that is my only advice in Interstellar Transport Company. Don't do a ship to Mars yet. I'm sure down the road we will research faster and faster ships and that will be more viable. For right now, we are going to do another route from Earth to Mars. So new route, great. Add a stop, Earth, perfect. Here, now we're just going to send these little rockets. This is the key. They only have 5 slots. It's not even almost worth. And they're one-time use. It's not like I'm getting them back. It's not even really worth varying it. We know they need food, water, and machinery. And those rockets are dirt cheap. They're under 1,000 to shoot that thing into space. All right, so from Earth, I want you to pick up only food. Wait for your full. Definitely wait until you're full. I don't want to send off a one-time use rocket with half a cargo bay. Yeah, just food. That's all we're going to do. Now, at a stop, Mars. When you get there, you're basically going to do nothing at all except deliver it. Basically, the rocket's going to crash land. They're going to pick up the food. Everybody's basically happy. What I do want to do, because these are one-time use, is reorder this. So reordering is currently disabled. But if I hit this, once that rocket is done, it will automatically reorder a new one, and so on and so on. So reorder that, thank you. And that is enabled, right? Yep, it is enabled. Perfect. So the Earth-Mars supply currently has 0 ships because I haven't ordered it yet, but when it does get ordered, it will reorder that. Let's go ahead and get a Sparrow rocket, and let's kit this out to be just food. I'm just going to confirm that that's food. Again, there's a ton of UI. There's a lot of me checking, rechecking, and checking to make sure that I did this vaguely right. I know ain't nobody tuning into the wee hours for competent gameplay, but I'm doing my best here because I really dig this game, and I'm actually genuinely trying to get a little bit better at it. So 100% food is going to Mars. Order the ship. Great. Now, about 20 minutes into this recording, I'm actually going to turn the game on, and we are off. Okay, let me check my routes. Let's start with that. Doing 909, obviously we know that's not here yet, but those days are ticking down. Now it's 23 days until that shows up. The Sparrow is a mere 1 day away. So tomorrow we get a Sparrow rocket. Fantastic, and it's already loading. It's already loading up. It's going to do its thing. It's going to load up with all food and then rocket off to Mars much, much faster than the Doing 909. And off it goes. There's our little rocket, the Sparrow 1. Sparrow 1, our fledgling rocket to Mars from Dave's Space Truckin', full of food, going to... Wait, full of food, right? Full of food, right? Why do I see 0 out of 5 on your food? Oh, goodness, what has gone wrong now? Well, the fact that I'm playing this is the first clue. Well, for some reason, I don't know why the little check that I put in for weight a full load of food was unchecked. I'm sure I did that myself, but if I didn't, darn you to heck, game. But it was unchecked, so we just sent off an empty rocket. That was kind of silly. All right, let me recheck my route again. So once again, on Earth, you are going to take a full load of food. On Mars, you're going to do nothing at all. One more time. Earth food, Mars zip. Got it. Right, well, one empty rocket, that's a bit of a hit, but the next one, because it's on reorder, should go a little bit better than that. I mean, can I blow up this rocket in space? Can I just detonate it? No. Okay, that would be a little too much to ask. All right, well, this is a bit of a teaser, Mars. Anyone living on Mars, this is a bit of a tease. The rocket is going to crash down. There's literally nothing in it. It's sort of like the worst Christmas gift in the world. And now that we've got our first rocket going to Mars, we may as well set up another one. Let's set up a new route. Let's do Earth. I just saw the other rocket fire off there, so that has already been reordered. Good. Hopefully this one is full of food. I'll check it a bit. So from Earth, how about this time you only pick up water? I'm just checking it again. Water is now checked. I can see the check that I just put there. Cool. At a stop of Mars, where you're going to pick up nothing at all. Mars, pick up nothing, deliver everything. One more time. Earth, water, Mars, zip. Super. Order, well, first of all, put it on automatic reordering. Order a ship. Give me a Sparrow rocket. Clear that. Give me nothing but water. Okay, so my cargo bay is now kitted out for nothing but water. Order the ship. Neat. Where's my other rocket? I want to check this one's actually full of food. Yes, this one is full of food. Super. And there'll be one right behind it with some water, which is good because I see our competition is already on this. So looks like American Space Lines is doing an Earth to the Moon kind of thing. That's me. Oh, is my first ship going? Great. That's not the screen I wanted. Check my routes, please. The Doing 909. Great. Okay, it's here. It's working. And so far, it's profitable. So it's on Earth right now. It's getting a little bit of maintenance. Okay, it's a little banged up. And then on Earth, it should be picking up food and water, mostly food, and then going to the moon. So loading, great. You're going to pick up some stuff. How long does it take you to pick up stuff? Like a day? Full of food and water. And I'm going to assume it's just going to head on its way shortly. But you got the food and water. Good. Which one are you? You are full of water. Great. So there's food to Mars, water to Mars. The other thing they needed in Mars, if I'm not mistaken, is getting off of this screen. Oh, just made $1,800 with that rocket. That more than pays for the rocket. Oh, Mars is upgraded a little bit, and somebody else has already got a gate. So American Space Lines is over here. I mean, there's another... buying the extra gate was just rather silly, because they're just going to keep building new gates. But we are ticking up in the money. I'm going to take a chance. I know I need to be conservative with money, but I'm going to take a chance on building a local office here. I just want to keep ticking along in my rep on Mars. I don't think there's much I'm going to be able to do with the moon. The moon is so last year, but I think if we can make a good stab at Mars, that's great. Speaking of which, let's keep some stuff going on there. Ooh, those are some angry red numbers. I want yet another new route to Mars. Before I do that, let me actually not look at the galaxy. Let me look at Mars again. Yes, still very high demand for machinery. Good. I would like another new route of Earth. Give me Earth. No, that's a ship. Give me Earth. Hang on. Give me Earth. There's too many things going on here. Earth. Thank you. On Earth, I would like you to pick up nothing but machinery, please. And then dump it when you get to Mars. And then I would like you to go to Mars and, hang on, make sure I'm on Mars, pick up nothing at all. So Earth, machinery, wait for full load. Mars, zip. Got it. Constant reorder, and that is enabled. Great. Let's get another Sparrow, and let's kit this out for just machinery. Should be right there. Yep, machinery cargo bays. No surprise, holds machinery. Great. Full load of machinery. Order the ship. Off you go, Sparky. Yeah, and the competition ain't playing. American Space Lines is putting a lot of stuff out to Mars. Food, machinery, they're basically doing what I'm doing. And European Space Lines, that's water, that is food. Yeah, they're basically doing exactly what I'm doing. That's fine. That's the nature of the game. That's what competition means. Ooh, there was a nice green number. How are my routes doing? Most specifically the Doing 909, because that's the reusable one. So far, have we even been in operation for more than 30 days? Let's look at a 90 days. So far, we've made a profit of a little over $31,000 on the Doing 909. Good. So it is basically profitable. We're doing not so bad with that. That's good. Is it maybe a thought? I want to put another ship. No gate available on Earth for the Doing 909 to land. Oh, probably we've got got one of the rockets in there ready to go. Okay, that's fine. A little bit of a hit to lease another gate. Quite a big hit, actually. But let's grab gate 17. Yeah. Ooh, that was a hit. Okay. Kind of need to chill a little bit. That Doing 909 really needs to be paying some money here. Subsidy is being offered for water to Luna. Okay, well, we're already doing that. Great, good. So I would read by that we're going to make maybe a little bit more money on the ships to the moon. Super. I think what I will do, instead of getting another ship, I got to chill on the money for a little bit, but what I will do, hopefully I can time this all out so I don't need to buy another gate. That would be a little fussy. But let's get, I would like to, which is the one that's doing the machinery? That's Earth, Mars. There we go. The Earth, Mars supply. I should start renaming these so I remember who's doing what. I would like you to actually duplicate that route. So supply copy. Let's make sure we're on that. And again, that is machinery. Great. And let's go with enabled. It's already enabled. Let's add one more Sparrow that does machinery for this. It's already kitted out for machinery. Order that, please. Hopefully I won't have to lease another gate for that, but let's just flood Mars with machinery before our competition does. They're sending food, they're sending machinery, they're sending water, food, machinery. Yeah, they're all basically doing what I'm doing. There's one of ours. That's sending, what was that sending again? Well, it's sending something. Anyway, whatever it is, it's all good. Oh, it's sending food. Perfect. There it is. Food. Yay, and there's another one of ours. What are you sending? You are sending... You're one of the machinery ones. Okay, and you have a little fork on you. Oh, is that a fork, or is that supposed to be like a rocket trail or something? Are you sending food? No, you're not. Okay, it's not a fork. Nobody panic, it's not a fork. So the Doing 909 is doing fine. That is broadly profitable. We seem to be doing just fine with that. And I'm pretty confident on the food, machinery, and water to Mars. So I kind of got to think about what is the next logical step here. What is the next good move here, which is probably a good place to call it on Interstellar Transport Company for today. Ultimately, guys, let me know what you think, please. Please do let me know in the comments what you think of Interstellar Transport Company. Do you want to see more of it on the channel or not? As always, it comes down to really what you guys want to watch. I'll tell you I'm going to fail miserably. I'll tell you right now I'm going to fail miserably. But it might be a lot of fun to fail, or you might just want to leave it as a first look, and there it is, and we'll call it a day. Ultimately, it comes down to you. So do please let me know in the comments what you think of Interstellar Transport Company. And hey, if you enjoyed the video, do please leave a like down below. It does cheer me up no end when people do that. And if you're new to the channel, maybe just checking it out for the first time, feel free to hit that subscribe button. See more of this ridiculous nonsense. Until then, I'm Dave. Thank you, as always, for joining me in the wee hours, and we'll see you next time. Wow. You could have hepatitis or golfer's elbow. I feel we should be able to narrow it down a little better. I mean, I'm not saying I'm a doctor, but I'm saying I might be able to know the difference between golfer's elbow or hepatitis. First thing I'd ask is, do you play golf? Where are you going?